Hello everybody, it is Mariah, otherwise known as Blue Moonstone, and I am finally back! The summers are really busy for me because I live on a farm, so it has been very hard for me to find time to make a video and record, edit, and do all of the things. I don't know if summer's even started yet. I think it's technically still spring. I'm not 100% sure, but we've gotten a couple months into summer and some of my things are starting to kind of die down, and I wanted to get back on and make some more content for you because I absolutely love making content for you and building and playing Minecraft, doing all the things. I love editing and I love making the videos and I love interacting with you guys, so of course I am back. I hope you missed me. I missed you so much, but I hope you didn't miss me too much. And I have mods now, which is crazy, because I never would have thought that that would be possible, but I have mods now, and we have a completely new shader pack, which is really exciting, and I can't wait to show you guys everything. First off, I added a mod that lets you stack the flowers together, and I think this is going to be really fun because I love building little gardens, and I think it'll be really cool to build little gardens with flowers that can actually be like much closer together. Also, if my audio is a little bit messed up, that's because I'm using my cheap headset because I cannot find the plugin for my more expensive one, and I think it's in my old room, and we'll get into what I mean by that a little bit later in the video. I did in fact get a new room, and so I think that that is somewhere in my old room, and I have to go through my old room to find it, and I do not have the time right now. So we're just gonna have to use the crappy headset for this video, but I promise before the next video I will have the better headset. I'm so sorry. Anyway, another mod I added was a furniture mod, and there's a couple other little mods in here. I want to go over all the mods I got for building because most of the mods that I have are strictly for building purposes, because I want to do more building videos, more tutorials, more build with me, more walkthroughs and things like that, because that's where I feel very passionate about building and making content like that. I would also like to do a mod pack for survival gameplay in the future, but as of right now I don't really have any plans for mining mysteries. I'm kind of just putting that on the back burner for right now. I want to work on something that I'm very passionate about, and right now I am very passionate about building and seeing what I can do with the opportunities I have now with the furniture and the extra items and all that. I think I really want to dive into that and build up my skill as a builder. Also, I did want to point out, I did forget to hide the little Minecraft thing at the top. I am very sorry. I will try to remember to hide that next time, because I don't know if it bothers you, but it bothers me a little bit. And also I forgot to make sure that the Minecraft sound was coming over through OBS, which is my bad. So there is no sound for me placing blocks and breaking blocks, which also bothers me a little bit, but I did get that figured out, and I promise in the next video it will be more put together. I'm just jumping back in after being MIA for a couple months, so there's a little bit it could be better. But what did you guys think of that intro? I think that's my favorite intro I've ever had, and I love it so much. Oh yeah, let's dive into where I've been, because I have been MIA for almost 3 months now, which is insane. It feels way longer than that, but it also went by really fast. To start, the first couple weeks I was off, I had obviously just gotten my computer. That's kind of where we left off. I got my gaming laptop, and I was kind of figuring everything out. It was a hard change for me to go from playing on the console to playing on the computer and having so many new things and having to completely change up how I did everything. Like, OBS is a lot more difficult than just recording on stream and editing that. I have to play with a lot of the settings, which was very frustrating, and I had finally got it to where I had liked it, but it still was not perfect. I ended up having to put in an Ethernet cable to my computer to make it work the way that I wanted it to. And it was kind of stressful. I had also gotten to the point where I was constantly checking the numbers, if I'm being completely honest, where I would post a video and I would check the number of views, and I would be like, okay, well, this has like 5 views. And I was focusing more on wanting to put out content that would get more views instead of doing it because that's what I love. And so I don't want to get into the mindset where all I think about is the numbers, because that is not what I think that YouTube should be about. It's not what I went into YouTube thinking about, you know? And then when I hit 500 followers or 500 subscribers, I was just like, oh my God, that's kind of insane. Like, that is an insane amount of people. And that's kind of all I could think about was the numbers. And so I kind of just needed to step back. And so for a couple weeks, I didn't even really think about Minecraft or Minecraft content. And I was playing this game called The Forest, which for some reason, anytime I play The Forest, I can never play that game like a normal person, where I play for like a couple hours and then get off. Like, I have to play that game religiously for hours and hours at a time, which is a little bit insane. And when I think about it, I mean, all of my free time I had in those 2 weeks after I had stopped really uploading, I was playing The Forest. I was playing The Forest until 3 a.m. I was getting up early and playing The Forest. Like, it was an insane time. And that was insane. But I do love the game. I love The Forest. I think it's so fun. And I could totally do a series of The Forest for YouTube. I think that would be incredibly fun. But then, kind of after that, we got into chick season. So obviously, I live on a farm. I raise chickens. I have several chickens, and every year I will hatch out some chicks, and that can be incredibly fun, but it can also be incredibly stressful sometimes, because now you go from not having to take care of anything all winter to having to take care of all these little chicks and stuff. And for the most part, it's very easy. But sometimes, you know, you can do everything right and some of them will still die. And there's nothing that you can do about that. And that can be very stressful, especially for me, because I get super attached to these little creatures. Even though I know I shouldn't. But I do that a lot. Like, I'm like, okay, I put 13 eggs in, I'm gonna get 13 chicks. And that's never how it works out with chick season. And so that can be, like, kind of sad because you're expecting all of this excitement and then you only end up with like 5, and then it's like, oh shit, well, I should probably hatch more so I get more. So it's kind of like the chicken math is brutal. Okay, chicken math is crazy because you go from like 5 chickens to 10 chickens to like 46 chickens. And I'm not even kidding you, that's not a joke. If you've ever heard that, if any of you follow any farming pages, you've definitely heard of chicken math. And that it's so true. It really is. And then another thing, we ended up getting some free turkey eggs from a friend. And I've never hatched turkeys before, so that was very fun to hatch turkeys. We got 12 and we ended up having 8. And then it got really cold one night and 3 of them did not make it, I think. Yeah, I'm trying to do the math. 8 minus 3 is 5, and we have 5 left, so it was 3. 3 of them didn't make it, but we do still have 5 now. So I was taking care of some chicks and some turkeys right now. We also had a hen that hatched out some chicks, and she didn't take care of them, so I'm taking care of those as well. Yeah, we also have been doing a lot of work around the house, so like when spring comes around, I have to make sure I deep clean the chicken coop from the past winter, because in winter we kind of just build up the bedding, and then when the spring comes, we take it all out and we replace it with sand. That took an entire day, and it took several days to recover because I have asthma, and so it really, really messed with my sinuses, and that was not fun. But that's a part of owning chickens, is, you know, not everything is going to be fun and great. And on top of the chickens, we also have peacocks. I think we got those at the beginning of the year. Around the same time we got the chickens, the first batch of chickens. Now those guys, they're a little bit older and they just started kind of running around like they free range with the other chickens now. Before they were too scared to even come out of the coop. But yeah, it's been very, very busy with farm stuff, and obviously I'll be posting pictures and everything so you guys can see the chicks and the baby turkeys and all the things, because it's so fun and I want to share that part of my life with you as well. But yeah, and then of course we have horses, so when the spring comes, we have horse maintenance to do. You gotta get their hooves done again, you know, wormed, all this different stuff. We like to till their pasture. We still need to do that. We haven't really done that yet. But then that kind of helps it's better on their feet to get the ground kind of pushed up a little bit. But yeah, and then we've kind of just been cleaning out the yard, obviously, because we have all these different millions of chickens. So we have to make space for all of them so they can free range. But also when you live on a farm, you kind of accumulate a lot of stuff that you don't really mean to accumulate. And so we kind of did a lot of spring cleaning when spring came around, where we're cleaning the garage and we're cleaning outside and we're cleaning inside. And that's another thing. My brother moved out. My brother lived with us for quite a while, most of his life, and he recently got engaged and had a baby. And so they decided, you know, the next step for their lives was to move out. So they moved out. So now my boyfriend and I have taken over their room, which we will get into now, and I will show you pictures of that because that has been probably the most exciting thing that has happened this last couple months. So yeah, let me show you some pictures and let's dive into that because that's so fun. I can't wait to tell you about it. So once my brother moved out, he left behind not much stuff, but he did leave behind like all of like the nails and stuff in the wall. So I took on the project of deciding, you know what, we're gonna switch over to his room because it is much bigger than our old room. So I decided on what color I was gonna paint. I chose a dark purple color and a darker like tealish color, and I was like, you know what, this is the color I want to do. He had already had a black wall in the room, so I decided to do like a kind of like a swishy, I don't know how else to describe it, like a dry brush pattern on the wall. I'll put a picture of it. I think it turned out really beautiful. It's my favorite wall in the room. But I did a pattern of the two colors on the black wall and it turned out really, really nice. And I also had this vision for like a canopy bed, and I was able to do that as well. I honestly just nailed some curtains to the wall and the ceiling and it worked perfect. I mean, I think it looks majestical and magical and beautiful, you know, and it's just curtains and some nails. It's crazy. I didn't even have to buy any poles or anything fancy like that. It's insane. So yeah, but I had very big plans, and I wasn't thinking it was going to be such a intensive task, but I am not kidding you. This room renovation has taken well over a month of the time I've been gone. And so let's just quickly get into what I have to do basically to get to where I am now. So I'm gonna post, this is a picture of the room before and this is a picture of the room now. So first of all, my room is in the basement. So underneath of this floor was cement, basically. It's just cement. That's really all it is, okay? But we have carpet down here, and it's really shitty carpet. It's really thin carpet. There's no cushion, nothing. So they slapped glue across this whole floor and slapped that carpet on. That carpet was on so good. It took weeks to pry that carpet off the floor, and I mean weeks, and I mean like back-breaking hours of scraping carpet off the floor, and it's not even getting the glue off remotely even at all. So once all the carpet was out, and that took a few days, honestly several days, it was a while because it's a big room. So we get the carpet out and I'm thinking, you know what, we're halfway there, and I made this dumb mistake of painting all the walls before I took out carpet. I thought, you know, I don't want to get paint on the cement and ruin, you know, ruin it for the next flooring that we're gonna do. So there's like carpet glue getting all over the walls and stuff, and I'm like, well, that kind of, but it's fine, I'll just wipe it off. I had no idea the amount of back-breaking hours I would put in to scraping glue off of this cement floor. Like, I could write a book about how I could never ever do that shit again in my life, and it would be amazing. It would be blissful if I never had to do that shit ever again in my life. Oh my god, it was so mind-numbingly frustrating and annoying and brutal, and like, I'm being a little bit dramatic here, but it was so agonizing, and I never want to ever do that shit again. Don't even mention carpet glue to me ever again. And one thing about me is I am very determined to do something I want to do by myself. So, like, my dad, he obviously works, and Aiden, my boyfriend, he works during the day, but I wanted to get this shit done. So I am spending my days doing this, until they get home, and they're doing a little bit when they get home. But I'm doing most of the work, most of the scraping of the glue, most of the applying the glue remover to the glue, and this took weeks. It took weeks to get the glue off the floor. And every time I would get it off the floor, my dad would come down and he'd be like, "There's still glue here. I can't do anything if there's still glue on the floor." And so then it would just set me back. And I kid you guys, like, I kid you not, this was the most stressed I have been in a very, very long time. Okay? I was not the nicest person during that week. Aiden will tell you that straight up. I was a bitch, you know? I'm sorry. But I was so stressed and I hated doing it. But we got it done, okay? And honestly, I would do it again. Because the floor that I have now is so beautiful. I think it was worth the pain. As much as I don't want to ever do it again, it was totally worth it. And let me show you the floor I have right now. Y'all, do you see that? Oh my god, it's like a rainbow fairy unicorn dream. I love it. It's so beautiful. It's so mesmerizing. If you look at it too long, like, you might go blind. It's so in your face and bright, and I'm obsessed with it. We'll get into that now. Once I scraped all the glue off the floor and had soaked all the glue off, all the residue was gone, I had mopped it multiple times to make sure all the residue was gone. Oh, wait. Forgot. I forgot to tell you the most agonizing part of the story. So scraping the glue wasn't working, right? So Aiden actually did have to grind the glue off the concrete. Now this was very fast. I mean, it took him a couple hours, not even that. It was so quick. But it creates a lot of dust. And so all the pretty walls I just painted were coated in a few layers of concrete dust that we then had to wipe off the wall. So here's a quick little Snapchat of what that was like. That I would never ever want to do again. That was terrible. We had to Swiffer sweep the walls. We had to mop the walls several times, mop the ceiling several times, mop the closet, mop the everything. There was a lot of mopping. But once all of that was done, and all the dust was gone, and all the carpet was gone, it was a breeze, okay? All we had to do to get the floor to be glittery and beautiful like this was paint down a layer of this, like, acrylic epoxy type paint, and then sprinkle the glitter on top of that. That was it. It was beautiful. We did a couple coats of clear coat on it after that, and I touched up some glitter in the spot. And there, it was done. And then the last thing I had to do was touch up some of the paint that had gotten messed up from scraping off the glue. And then we waited like a couple days and we started moving our stuff in. And the whole process took a little over a month to do. But it was so worth it because I am so in love with this bedroom. It is the coolest bedroom I've ever had. It is everything I could have ever asked for. And I am so grateful to have the opportunity to do it. And I cannot thank my dad enough for helping me with the glitter floor and all the stuff. And I can't thank my parents enough for allowing me to turn this room down here into a, like, my own little masterpiece. I love it so much and I am so very grateful. And I cannot wait to share it with you because it is probably the coolest thing I have ever done. And on top of that, Aiden and I had our 3-year anniversary in May. We kind of started hanging out in April, but we started officially dating in May. So we kind of celebrate April and May because ever since me and Aiden had met, like, the very first time, we've basically just been dating. I mean, we had our first kiss, everything that same day. And since then, we have been just obsessed with each other. And we've been together almost every single day since. And if we weren't together, we were on the phone. And if we weren't on the phone, we were on FaceTime. And if we weren't on FaceTime or on a call, we were Snapchatting back and forth. So we kind of celebrate both months as a just, this is when we started dating and this is when we officially started dating. Anyway, I had decided that I wanted to surprise Aiden with his dream dog. Now, his dream dog is a German Shepherd, specifically a German Shepherd from Germany. See, he wanted to take a trip to Germany to get a German Shepherd puppy and then come home. And I thought that was great. That's a grand idea. But, you know, I'm thinking we're getting so much more space. And the perfect time to get a puppy is in the summer because it's warm. So you're potty training without having to go outside in the cold to potty train. I talked to my mom about it. We kind of had a payment plan planned out so that I could make payments on him and she would purchase him and then I would pay her back gradually because obviously a German Shepherd is not a cheap puppy. And so we agreed to do this and I started looking for puppies nearby. But anyway, the first day I start looking, I find a breeder near me and she is like posting about how excited she is because she just got a new, I think they're called Dam, is the female, but she just got a new female sent to her. And the female was sent from Germany. It was bred in Germany to this, I think it's a sire. I could have them backwards, I don't know. But anyway, the female was bred to the male over in Germany, and then the female was shipped here. And then she is gonna raise the puppies and sell the puppies. And so she had some pictures of these puppies, and they were pretty young still. And so we were talking back and forth, and I was like, I want a puppy from this litter that came from Germany because the backgrounds on the actual like registration papers, like it's in German and it's really cool. You know, she came from Germany. That's kind of perfect. That's what he wanted. You know, granted, he didn't get to go get it himself, but still, you know, you can still be like, okay, this is my German Shepherd from Germany. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm in contact with her and I end up picking the puppy. We go and we get him and it's great. He is the sweetest, cutest little baby and he is so smart. So here he is. This is Mr. Aries. He is a black and red long-haired German Shepherd. The cutest thing I have ever seen in my life. He is adorable and he adds so much character to our house. And I think we've been kind of missing a little bit of spunk because Ruger, he was our spunkiest dog. You know, he was funny. You never knew what he was going to do next. He was a goofball. And I think that Aries embodies a lot of what Ruger embodied. And I really do believe that Ruger sent him to us because there's so many little things that are like kind of crazy similarities. Like for some reason, Ruger used to be obsessed with rocks and he would chew on rocks and he would actually damage his teeth from chewing on these rocks, and there's really nothing you can do because our backyard has a rock garden in it, so he's gonna be able to get rocks regardless. But then one of the first days that Aries was here, he brought me a rock and I thought that's kind of weird. Like, what is he doing bringing me rocks? And every once in a while he'll bring a rock in the house. I don't think he's chewing on them or eating them, but I think he just likes to carry stuff around. But he is so incredibly smart. He knows so many tricks. I'll show you some videos of him and his little tricks. So we have been working with him a lot to teach him different things because obviously as a working dog, he needs stimulant and he needs something to do. So we've been taking him on walks. We take him everywhere we go. If we go to town, we take him we go to the park. I want to take him to the lake. I think that would be really fun. We are getting a pool here pretty soon, and I think it'd be really fun to teach him how to swim because he likes to play in the water bowl, which isn't great. But I think he would really enjoy swimming in like an actual pool. Also, he gets really hot since it's summer and he has so much hair, so I think he would really enjoy being able to just cool off in the pool. But yeah, he is so smart. He can sit. He knows how to shake, he can lay down, he can lay flat, which is like where he lays down on his side, like flat on the ground. He knows like the middle, I don't know what it is called, I just call it middle, where he goes in between your legs and he sits. Right now we're working on heel, which is where he sits like next to your legs. So we're working on a lot of different things and he is so smart and he picks things up so fast. And yeah, I can't wait to show you more of him. Like I'm gonna include obviously a bunch of pictures and videos so you guys can look at him because he's the cutest little baby ever. But yeah, I want to make some videos. Maybe we could do like little vlogs of like taking him to the lake and playing at the lake and all these types of little things. I think it would be so fun. And just a way for you guys to actually interact with me personally instead of just, you know, me being one to talk to you through a Minecraft video. Like I want to know you guys personally. I want you to know me personally because to me you guys are like my friends. And so obviously I want to share like my favorite parts of my life with you. And right now he's one of my favorite parts of my life. But yeah, and of course, aside from that, obviously the summers are busy just because it's warmer and we're doing more going out with our friends and, you know, doing things that you can't really do in winter because we live in the Midwest and so winter kind of hits us really hard. And that can be very frustrating. That's kind of why I have so much time in the winter to make videos because most of the time it's snowing and I can't really do anything outside, but I love to be outside in nature. So I think I've caught you up on all of the different things with chick season and the room renovations and our puppy and of course my 2-week forest bender. I think that just about covers it. But of course, when I decided I wanted to start making videos again, I just thought I need to do something more. So I reached out to my friend and he helped me download some mods. And so I kind of played around and I've seen which mods I liked. I do want to go in depth and tell you what mods I have because I have tweaked it since this video. I've added some more and I just kind of made sure that they all work together. So in the next video, I'm going to be doing a tutorial for the house from the intro. And so I want to go over and I'm going to tell you all the different mods I have and I'll go over and show you like what comes with those mods and then we'll get into the tutorial and work on that. So that video is going to be really fun. So definitely stay tuned for that video because the blue like cottage house is probably my favorite build I've done in a while. Obviously I haven't built anything in a while because I've been MIA, but since before then, you know what I mean? The last 2 builds I did before, it's basically, I think, my favorite build I've ever made on my computer, on my PC, I guess you could say. But yeah, so I'm very excited. I'm very excited to continue to make content for you and to show you guys my life and to just be back. I mean, it feels really good to just sit here and talk to you guys again because I've really just been missing that aspect of, you know, my life. You know, I've been so busy and so I've been so occupied, but it's nice to just sit down and take a minute to just do what I'm passionate about. I feel like I'm running out of things to talk about, so I think I'm just gonna let the music play and you guys can enjoy the rest of this build video. I can't wait to keep creating with you, so thank you all so much for sticking with me even though I've been gone. I know some of you guys are still around, I've seen you from my shorts, but I've missed you and I love you all so much. And here's the rest of the video. I'll stop talking now. Okay, love you guys. Bye!